Warmest Blessings. This is Master Shaman PaLiChee, and I help seekers become empowered, transformed, and elevated through channeled wisdom in multiple services that I offer through our enlightenment shamanic program. This is the Universe, Enlightened Shamanism, and Our World podcast. If you are interested in anything spiritual or shamanism, you are in the right place. Before I dive into our podcast today, I want to mention a few things. I just released my new book, and it's called The Universal Laws of Mankind, Memoir and Shamanic Aspect. It is available right now on Amazon. So go down in the link in the description below, go read the first few pages that Amazon allows you to, and make a purchase. I also want to mention that I have my one-on-one personal soul readings and healings that I offer. These are tools to help you get a deeper sense of your divine soul, to understanding what the divine soul means that you need in your shamanic or spiritual path. That may be that you have a unique path as well. Having a unique path is going to be a little bit different, and there might be customizable things that we have to do personally for you. So I do that in the soul readings and healings. We don't look into your shamanic spirit guides in the one-on-one soul readings and healing. That is done through the 11X program once you are there. But we need to get you there to help you through whether it's trauma releases, karma, cord cutting session, or anything else that has to do with your spiritual or energetic being that we need to elevate for you to get to the place where you can enter into the 11X Enlightenment Shamanic Program. That is a prerequisite, and that is written on the website as well. You'll see that in the description below. I wanted to start out with a personal story of mine that has to do with hearing noises during gonging or drumming, or maybe even during times when you're listening to music somewhere, but you hear on top of the music that you're hearing, physically, you're hearing something inside of your head. That could be words or voices or anything else that's a noise. Today, I'm here demystifying your shamanic challenge or spiritual challenge that has to do with you hearing noises during gonging or drumming specifically. A personal story of mine is a long time ago when I started my spiritual or shamanic journey, and when I began to trance, I didn't hear it at first, but as I went along inside of this trance, because it was probably already there, not prominently, because I was not letting it come through. I was not allowing this consciousness to allow myself to hear the voices that were there already. Now, these are not, when I say voices or noises, they're anything from music to someone singing a song, a voice maybe singing a song. It could be your own, it could be someone else's, that maybe you may notice the tune or the voice of that person. You may not know the voice of that person, but you're hearing something on top of, in the background of what you're doing physically. A long time ago when I first began trancing, I began hearing voices or a song, and the song was going in the background. I was still trancing, and this is when I was trancing already. I'm trancing, shaking as a shaman, and then I'm hearing, as I go in there, a voice that's singing a certain song in a certain tune. As the gong is being played in back of me or on the side of me, supposedly. As this gong was drumming or gonging in back of me, I'm hearing this voice or this song that was going on. And it felt like it was my voice at first, but then it turned out to be a different female voice. I followed it instantaneously. My gut feeling says, follow this voice and say it out loud. I started to follow and mimic the voice out loud. As I did that, it continued to sing even more and more for me. In that time, I was a bit afraid of what I was hearing. Is this for real? I was doubting myself, fearing, is this for real? Because the first time becoming a shaman, you're like, I don't know if I should really believe in what I'm hearing, or I'm doubting this voice. Is this voice a good voice? Is this voice a bad voice? Is it malevolent? Is it benevolent? I think to myself, I'm going to trust it. I feel good about it. I don't feel like it's negative. I don't feel like it's trying to do something evil. plus the words that it was saying made sense. I decided to just go along with the flow. No one telling me to do this. I'm doing it all on my own. There's a feeling inside of me, and my intuition is saying, just sing along, just sing along. So I started to sing along out loud with this song, this voice, this whatever you want to call it, a hymn. We also call this neng lu neng in the Hmong words. So you have lu neng. And when you hear these lu neng or the hymn or the chanting song, you want to follow along if you feel that it's benevolent. So I started to follow along, and as I did that, each time from each time, meaning different trances, gain momentum. I started to feel comfortable, and I started to feel a deeper feeling or deeper sense that I was actually connecting with my spiritual guides, and they were teaching me these songs or these luneng. And this luneng at first didn't make no sense. It made sense in a way where if I bundle it together, it made logical sense. But to say the word by itself, it didn't make sense. So sometimes you may hear the words a little bit skewed from how you would say it out here, and or the opposite direction where you hear it clearly, and then you, being the person that's supposed to say it, you may not know these words clearly, so you're saying it in a very skewed way. So it could be that as well. But I want you to now trust the process, because learning that I've gone through this in my journey at the beginning says a lot about how you can also perform and shift your spiritual mindset to be okay. Don't doubt, don't fear what your spirit guides are trying to teach you. That's if you can hear your spirit guides. For some of you, you're not going to hear spirit guides at all, but you can have a knowing that they're trying to tell you something. And then you may hear sounds or beats or voices or songs or even words being said as in a normal speaking tone. You could be hearing this as well. I want to encourage all of you with today's podcast that you shouldn't be too worried about tuning in, listening to what is being said. And after a few rounds, you can feel the connection and then follow along. What happens typically when you begin your shamanic journey and you're hearing this while someone's gonging for you, drumming for you? You might be afraid at first, but you want to similarly do what I just did when someone was gonging for me. When I heard it, I went along. You may want to try going with the flow. There are important factors, okay? You hear noises. These are some things that you could be hearing during gonging or trancing, journeying through the drumming. Perhaps if you're not a person that uses gong, but you're a person that uses drumming, you could be journeying and hearing the same thing that we are talking about today during gonging for a shaman. You could be a shaman that uses drum. Either way, you're using some kind of instrument to help you invigorate, to help you get there. If you guys are knowing and you've been through the shamanic path already, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't and are not there yet, you will start to understand this once you enter into this phase or into this space of you becoming the unique healer that you need to be, whether it is a wizard, a shaman of whatever kind, right? Whatever culture. If you are going to be a seer and you don't do gonging or drumming, perhaps, but you may do bells, you may do something, a totally different music, harp or whatever that can be. You may hear music on top of the physical music or the physical noises that you're listening to. Possible reasons for hearing noises. Now, some of you may not hear no noises while you are going into trance or journeying with music or something physically being played or physically being like live music, live instances where someone's talking to you. You may not hear anything beyond that point. You may not be hearing nothing at first until you start to get deeper into the altered state of mind. Once you get into an altered state of mind, and it's deeper, you may start to hear the direction or the guidance from either voices or music or beats being played or an instrument being played. Possible reasons for hearing noises. Benevolent spirit guides may be coming in and trying to connect with you. They may be trying to guide you and teach you this music or this voice that's coming in to teach you, just like If you were to go to school, or if you were to be in front of a sifu or teacher and they're teaching you, it may be like this, but it's going along with the physical music that is being played, the drum or the gong. It could be this benevolent spirit guide or spirit team that is coming in to teach and to guide you. Secondly, it could be a malevolent entity that wants to confuse or derail you from your actual spiritual journey. What that means is there's entities that will squeeze their way through if you've been filtered, or if you've been not filtered before by a sifu or a master shaman, then you may hear malevolent voices or direction and guidance to derail you and confuse you about your spiritual journey, which can also lead you into a space that is dark and dirty. And then you may actually get out of that trance or journey doing malevolent things, things that won't serve you or others in a helpful way, but in a harmful way. This you may also mistaken for your own desires. For example, if you want to smoke and you know smoking is horrible for your lungs, but the malevolent entity comes and whispers to you during your gonging or drumming that you could smoke, that you should smoke and continue to do, so that there can be power or something. Like they give you a power attached to a benefit that's attached to a string for you to believe that you'll get this thing. But actually, they are confusing you and derailing you from your actual benevolent spiritual journey with your benevolent guides. Your benevolent guides are totally going to be against it. And then they're going to try to come at you with trying to bring you back on your track, right? So that's the second thing. The third thing is that someone's gonging or drumming for you. There is a spirit or spirits around during that time, and they're seeking some kind of help. For example, if they've been murdered and they need justice, and you're the only one that's gone into the spirit world at the time that they are there, they're going to come and bother you to help them, talk to you, sing a song with you, maybe speak loudly at you or be angry at you somehow and speak in the background. If you're hearing voices in the background, it could be these spirits that have passed on, human spirits, they could be animal spirits as well, coming to seeking you for help during this time when you're trying to get on the journey, when you're going into your trance, when you're going into your journey. How to distinguish? How do I make the clarity between benevolent noises or voices versus negative noises or voices? You may be asking this right now, enjoying the time that I'm talking. I want to say that benevolent voices or noises or music, anything benevolent, is going to feel clear. It's going to be more feeling it is good or it's helpful and not harmful. So you make that distinction, helpful or harmful noises. Are they more sketchy noises, creepy noises? Or are they the whispers, whispering very low? Usually they can be, even if it's benevolent, but they will eventually be louder and more clear. And then what they say, does it make logical sense? Then you can start to feel a logicalness about what they're saying or make some kind of logic out of it once you're out of that trance or journey. If you're not sure if you should listen to the voices of the benevolence and you didn't know it was benevolent in the first place, then you may test it out once, twice, and 3 times to make sure you know who you're speaking to, what is speaking to you, and what they're trying to say. Oh, what is the message that is trying to be relayed over to you? It may take a few times for you to distinguish and discern whether it's a benevolent voice or noise, or even instrument-wise. I find that usually the negative noises will come in a bit more creepy. You will start to have goosebumps, not tingles, because tingles make you feel good. They're similar to goosebumps, but the goosebumps are going to make you feel as though it's creepy, it's eerie, it's giving you a negative vibe, it's giving you a creepy vibe. Negative noises, to distinguish those, I always find that if I feel my hair standing up, then it's a negative entity that is coming in and trying to derail me or trying to guide me when it shouldn't be. It's trying to pretend it is a spiritual guide, but it is a malevolent entity. So go back to discerning whether these are benevolent voices or noises or negative voices or noises that are speaking to you, or the music that is coming in. Is it the negative ones that are doing it? Typically, I'll say this. Typically, you will not hear negative voices in a music format. Usually, no. Anything negative that comes in is usually in whispery voices or voices that are telling you to do harmful things to people or to others. And they will tell you to feel as if there is some kind of scarcity or there's way too much abundance, skewed or exaggerated, that feels like it's not true. When there's so much exaggeration in it, it may not be true. It may be a negative entity. Now, benevolent is going to sometimes say things harshly, as in to do the good, but do it quickly. They may say this, which is fine, but they're not going to exaggerate. Whatever they're saying isn't going to be harmful. Remember, helpful or harmful, does it exaggerate, or is it in a voice that is just talking and whispery? Or is it more of a normal toned voice that sounds benevolent and is not giving you goosebumps, but instead it's giving you good vibes? That's one thing we wanted to share today in regards to hearing noises during gonging or drumming. This came up during a conversation, so I wanted to bring it out there because my spirit guides are saying, you got to do this, Master PaLiChee. This is the thing that you need to say. In closing this podcast, learning correct discipline, having some kind of a system that you must go by to discern is going to be the key to you purifying a long-lasting spiritual path. This is going to get you to the next level. It's going to also continue to empower you, to also transform you, and to elevate you in your spiritual journey. Whatever that journey may be, it may be a unique healer's journey, a spiritual journey, or a true shamanic journey that you are on. I'll see you in the next episode. If you haven't already, go like, subscribe, and pay it forward. Click on that notification bell so you know when I'm out here. I'll be doing more of these podcasts and also oracle readings. If you are interested in learning more about spiritual or shamanism, go and click on that Amazon link to the new book. Go read it, intake it. It is an invitation for you to explore your own journey as well. Go in and see what it's all about. And also one-on-one personal reading sessions with me and healings as we manifest through what your next steps are to moving forward on your spiritual or shamanic journey. Warmest blessings from Master Shaman PaLiChee at PaLiChee Healing, and we'll talk to you soon on the next episode.